Hello, everybody out there. Welcome to my channel. The first thing I want to say is I'm not here to make money off YouTube. I am writing a book. I got about 50 pages, but I've been writing this book for several years now. I haven't even looked at it probably in the last couple of years. And then I thought maybe I'll get this message out on YouTube. A YouTube channel will be faster. So I'm not here for the money. I'm just out here to share my lived experiences of having a child who is now a young adult who has been diagnosed with a serious mental illness. And in his case, the illness is schizophrenia. So I made this video earlier this morning. Then I played it back. I didn't like how it sounded. So I deleted it and I said I'll make it again later. In the meantime, I started watching YouTube and a couple of stories caught my eye. One of them was about a mom, a black mom who has a son who looks like he is about the same age as my son. Her son looks like he's probably in his 20s. So they played the 911 call, and the mom was saying somebody at her home had been stabbed. And as soon as I heard that, of course, in my mind, because of my experiences, the first thing I thought was the person in her home probably has a mental illness. I want to add this, like I always say, everybody who has a mental illness is not violent. But in some cases, when they go into psychosis, they can become violent. So come to find out, her son had also stabbed a Lyft officer earlier, not a Lyft officer, a Lyft driver earlier that evening. So this mom, she later went on TV, she gave an interview, and she was saying that on many different occasions, she's had to get temporary custody orders for her son. I know where I live, you have to jump through all kinds of hoops to get a temporary custody order if someone in your family has a serious mental illness. They play all kinds of games with you, and they do everything in their power not to issue a TCO. They have different names depending on where you live. So on this occasion, recently, she had gotten the temporary custody order. Sometimes they're called emergency custody orders. She had gotten it, and then once it gets approved, the police have so many days to come and pick up the person and take them to the hospital. Well, the police never came to pick up her son, and she kept calling them, and then she got sick, and then she didn't call them for a couple of days, and then when she felt better, she started calling them again. They never came and picked up her son. And then this happened. He ended up stabbing someone in their home, and he stabbed a complete stranger. And so the mom was just frustrated because she said, and I know exactly how she feels, she's trying to do the right thing, and she's not getting any help from anybody else. She was saying that I'm trying to keep my son from being hurt. I'm trying to keep my other family members from being hurt. And I'm trying to keep people like that Lyft driver from getting hurt. But it's frustrating because nobody is there to help her. And then the police department where she lives said that they are overwhelmed. And I don't doubt it, because it's a lot of people out here with mental illnesses, diagnosed and undiagnosed mental illnesses. And so I believe it when the police department said they are overwhelmed, they can't keep up. So what are we supposed to do? So as I was saying before, I'm not here on YouTube. I didn't start this YouTube channel to make money. I started this channel because I wanted to, one, let other people know you're not alone. I want to share any resources that I have used that I thought was helpful that you all out there might find helpful too. I talk about the National Alliance of Mental Illness a lot. They have classes, they have support groups, not just for the families, but people who are diagnosed with mental illnesses. On Facebook, they also have Facebook communities that focus on mental illnesses, so check those out. There's also a podcast called Three Moms in the Trenches. I have not listened to that podcast yet, but two of those three moms, have written books. And that's another reason that I was inspired to start this channel. That's why I'm inspired to write a book, because I want to talk about my experiences as a Black mom dealing with a child that has been diagnosed with a mental illness. I want to be relatable to people out here in communities of color and let them know, hey, don't be ashamed, drop the stigma. And you know what I have found once I dropped the stigma is that the more you talk about it, the more you're gonna meet people that will speak up and say. Once they see that you're being honest and vulnerable, then they'll be honest and vulnerable too, and they'll say, you know what? My son, my daughter, my niece, my nephew, something is going on with them too. So that's why I started this channel, not to make money, because you're not alone. I want you to know that. And I also want to share some resources with anybody out there who may not be aware of these particular resources. I'll see you all on the next video. In the meantime, be safe out here in these streets.